Ever struggled with English pronunciation? Well, you're not alone. The English language, while globally popular, can be a tricky beast to tame. It's a language of rhythm, tone, and some downright perplexing pronunciation pitfalls. But don't worry, there's a fun and effective way to improve your articulation, clarity, and speed of speech: English tongue twisters. These aren't just silly sentences designed to trip you up and induce giggles. They're actually powerful tools for mastering the sounds and rhythm of English. By practicing tongue twisters, you're not only challenging your mouth muscles, but also training your brain to identify and produce sounds more accurately and quickly. From the brisk, brave brigadiers to Luke's duck that likes lakes, these tongue twisters cover a wide range of sounds and syllables, providing a comprehensive workout for your pronunciation skills. Ready to twist your tongue and improve your pronunciation? Let's dive in! First up, we have a tongue twister that is all about the letter B. The tongue twister goes like this. Brisk, brave brigadiers brandish broad, bright blades, blunderbusses, and bludgeons, balancing them badly. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? Let's break it down. Our first word is brisk. This word has a short I sound, like in sit. Try saying it slowly, emphasizing the B and R sounds. B-R-I-S-K. Next we have brave. This one has a long A sound, like in cake. Again, emphasize the B and R sounds. B-R-A-V-E. The third word is brigadiers. It's a longer word, but don't let that intimidate you. It's pronounced B-R-I-G-A-D-I-E-R-S. Notice the G has a J sound, like in giraffe. Now we come to brandished. This word has two syllables, bran and dished. The A in bran has a short sound, like in cat. The I in dished also has a short sound. Then we have broad, bright blades. All three words start with BR, so pay special attention to that. Broad and blades have a long A sound, while bright has a long I sound. Our next words are blunderbusses and bludgeons. These words might be unfamiliar, but they're not too hard to pronounce. Blunderbusses has three syllables, blunderbusses. Bludgeons has two syllables, blood and geons. Finally, we have balancing them badly. Here, balancing has three syllables, bal and sing. Them and badly both have short E and A sounds respectively. Now let's put it all together, slowly at first. Brisk, brave brigadiers brandished broad, bright blades, blunderbusses, and bludgeons, balancing them badly. Got it? Great. Now try saying it a bit faster, and then, when you're ready, see if you can say it really fast. Remember, the key here is to practice and not to rush. Our next tongue twister is a bit of a mouthful about cows and crossings. Let's take a moment to break it down. The tongue twister is, if you must cross a coarse cross cow across a crowded cow crossing, cross the coarse cow across the crowded cow crossing carefully. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? But don't fret, we're going to take it slow. Let's start with the first sentence, if you must cross a coarse cross cow. The key here is to enunciate the R in cross and coarse and the ow in cow. Try it slowly. If you must cross coarse cross cow. Moving on to across a crowded cow crossing, the tricky part here is the transition between crowded and cow. Try to avoid blending these two words together. Practice saying it slowly, across a crowded cow crossing. Now let's put the two parts together. If you must cross a coarse cross cow across a crowded cow crossing, repeat it a few times, slowly at first, then quicker each time. The second sentence is, cross the coarse cow across the crowded cow crossing carefully. Here the challenge lies in the rapid repetition of cross and cow. Don't rush it, say each word clearly, cross, coarse cow, across crowded cow crossing carefully. Now let's combine the two sentences. If you must cross a coarse cross cow across a crowded cow crossing, cross the coarse cow across the crowded cow crossing carefully. Repeat it slowly, then gradually speed up. This tongue twister is all about the C and R sounds and transitioning between them. It's a great way to practice your English pronunciation and diction. Remember, the key to mastering tongue twisters is practice. Repeat them regularly, and you'll see improvement in no time. Once you get the hang of it, it's not as hard as it seems. Ready for an imaginary challenge? Let's dive right into our third tongue twister. Imagine an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. Quite a mouthful, isn't it? But don't worry, we'll take it one word at a time. First, we have imagine. This word is broken down into three syllables, imagini. The emphasis is on the first syllable, im. Repeat after me, imagine. Next we have an. This one is simple, just one syllable, pronounced an. All together now, imagine, and the third word is imaginary. This word has 5 syllables. imag in Ari. The stress is on the second syllable, ag. Let's say it together, imagine an imaginary. Let's dive into a tongue twister about Luke and his duck. Now this tongue twister is a fun one. It's all about a guy named Luke, his lucky licks, and a duck that likes lakes. The tongue twister is, Luke's duck likes lakes. Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck licks lakes. Duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. Let's break it down, shall we? Start with the first sentence. Luke's duck likes lakes. Focus on the L sound in Luke's, duck, likes, and lakes. Pronounce it slowly, Luke's duck likes lakes. Next we move on to the second sentence. Luke Luck licks lakes. Again, the focus is on the L sound, but here we introduce the luck and licks, which can be a bit tricky. Practice it slowly. Luke Luck licks lakes. Now onto the third sentence. Luke's duck licks lakes. This time Luke's duck is doing the licking. Repeat it slowly. Luke's duck licks lakes. Lastly we have, duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. Here we introduce takes and in, which adds a slightly different rhythm to the sentence. Practice it slowly. Duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. Now that we've got the hang of it, let's piece it all together. Start slow. Luke's duck likes lakes. Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck licks lakes. Duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. Now, a bit faster, and again, even faster. The beauty of this tongue twister is the repetitive L sound, which is a common sound in English. It's all about getting your tongue used to moving in the way it needs to for this sound. And remember, the key to mastering tongue twisters isn't just speed, it's clarity. So, practice this tongue twister, and soon you'll be able to say, Luke's duck likes lakes. Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck licks lakes. Duck takes licks in lakes Luke Luck likes. With ease and confidence. Remember, it's all about practice. Our final tongue twister is about Rory the Warrior and Roger the Worrier. Now let's break this down. First we have Rory the Warrior. Rory is a name pronounced as Rory. The word warrior is pronounced as warrior. It refers to someone who is strong and brave, often a soldier or fighter. Next we have Roger the Worrier. Roger, another name, is pronounced as Roger. The word worrier is pronounced as worrier. It refers to someone who tends to worry a lot. Then we have were reared wrongly. The word reared is pronounced as reared and it means to be brought up or raised. Wrongly is pronounced as rung-ly and it means in a mistaken way. Finally we have in a rural brewery. The word rural is pronounced as rural and it refers to the countryside or areas outside of cities. Brewery is pronounced as brewery. It's a place where beer is produced commercially. Ready to go? Let's start with a slow pace. Rory the Warrior and Roger the Worrier were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. Great! Now let's pick up the pace a bit. Rory the Warrior and Roger the Worrier were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. Fantastic! Feeling ready for a challenge? Let's go at full speed. Rory the Warrior and Roger the Worrier were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. Remember, it's not about perfection, but progress. If you stumbled, that's perfectly okay. It's part of the learning process. The more you practice, the better your pronunciation will get, and the easier these tongue twisters will become. And that's the last of our tongue twisters. But remember, the key to mastering them is practice. So, how did you do with those tongue twisters? We've certainly covered a lot of ground in this video, haven't we? We've journeyed through the land of tongue twisters, each one a unique challenge designed to improve your English pronunciation. First, we tackled the brisk, brave brigadiers, brandishing their broad, bright blades, blunderbusses, and bludgeons, even though they were balancing them badly. This tongue twister was a true test of your skills with the letter B and your ability to switch between different BR sounds quickly. Next, we took on the task of crossing a coarse cross cow across a crowded cow crossing, doing so carefully, of course. This twister tested your ability to differentiate between similar-sounding words and to maintain the rhythm of a sentence despite the repetition. We then imagined an imaginary menagerie manager managing an imaginary menagerie. A true exercise in mastering M sounds and the difference between the M and man syllables. We also spent some time with Luke Luck and his lake-licking duck. This tongue twister was all about differentiating L and D sounds and switching quickly between similar-sounding phrases. Finally, we met Rory the Warrior and Roger the Worrier, who were reared wrongly in a rural brewery. This was our grand finale, a tongue twister that combined a variety of sounds, from the R in Rory and Roger to the W in warrior and worrier, and the tricky rear and brew sounds. Remember, the key to mastering these tongue twisters is practice. Start slow, enunciate each word clearly, then gradually pick up the pace. And don't get discouraged if you stumble. Even native English speakers trip over these tricky phrases. Keep practicing these tongue twisters, and you'll see a big improvement in your English pronunciation. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.